What's up YouTube? It's Heretic here. Welcome back. Today we are looking at the Garbodor, Guardians Rising Garbodor deck that I played in Tuesday's match video. And like I said during the match video, I severely underrated this card. This card is incredible. And it is making me think twice about every other deck that I was planning on building this format because it is just that good. I was amazed. So I guess I blundered a little bit on that, but no worries, we have the deck here. So 3 of the Garbodors from Guardians Rising. This card has an absolutely insane single energy attack called Trashalanche. For 1 psychic energy, you deal 20 damage times the amount of item cards in your opponent's discard pile. Absolutely ridiculous. And so you either slow them down from playing their items, or they play them all, and then you OHKO everything for a 1 psychic energy. Absolutely insane. The reason we're running 3 and not 4 is because we also run 1 copy of the Breakpoint Garbodor. This is largely for Vileplume decks, and if Greninja were to try to make a comeback to deal with the single prize exchange here, which I could see a couple people maybe trying out, but we're going to try to put a nix on that before it can happen. So we've got the 3-1 Garbodor split and 4 Trubbish. I know this is 3-1 here as well. This old Trubbish is really just a proxy for the new one because I don't have enough of them. But this new Trubbish is definitely the best fit for the deck, I feel like. For 1 Psychic, it does Stomp Off, which discards the top card of your opponent's deck. If you discard an item card, you've just powered up Garbodor's attack by another 20 damage. So we'll get into some milling here again in another card or two, but we got the 4-4 line there. Of course, the split with the Garbodor's 3-1. We run 2 Wobbuffet as more ability shutdown and alternative attacker, mainly for Bide Barricade, Wobbuffet's ability. In case Vileplume comes out before you can get a Pokemon tool on one of your Trubbish to turn into the Garbotoxin Garbodor. Bring Wobbuffet up, attach your tool, there you go. Keep Vileplume Decidueye in check. Next we have 2 copies of Bunnelby. I chose this over Houndoom EX just because we can still just stick with basic Psychic Energy then. We don't have to worry about confusion with needing a Fire Energy on Houndoom. Also, Bunnelby can, in addition to milling your opponent's cards, return cards from your discard pile into your deck. So that's definitely a thing worth noting. Bunnelby being able to attack twice per turn, has 1 attack that mills the top card from your opponent's deck, another attack that puts 1 card of your choice from your discard pile back into your deck. So fun stuff you can do there. And then we have 1 copy of Tauros-GX as a alternative attacker, big GX attacker with Mad Bull. So you guys know how that one works already. It's a pretty popular card. So Tauros-GX is there. 1 Shaman, just for a little bit of extra draw power, once again. And then 2 copies of Tapu Lele-GX. Again, this is a deck where I just feel like being able to search for specific supporters ends up being more valuable, as you can always just get the draw supporter you need as opposed to just Shaman. I realize you ultimately have an opportunity to draw fewer cards than if you were to, say, play Shaman and then Sycamore, but just Tapu Lele having more HP and also a pretty solid attack and energy drive and an interesting and usable GX attack in Tapu Cure in this deck, just to me just makes it a little bit better since we can search out Lysanders and stuff as well. So in my testing, I found that I preferred the 2 Tapu Lele and 1 Shaman as opposed to the other way around. We get to our supporters. We got 4 Professor Sycamore, 2 N, 2 Lysander, 1 Professor Kukui, and 1 Delinquent. 4-2-2 again, not room for the 3rd N since we're gonna have Trainer's Mail in here anyway. The Kukui, just extra damage in case you don't quite have enough items. Late game, you'll find that's usually not necessary. And Delinquent is one of the stars of the show, being able to force your opponent to discard more item cards potentially, as well as getting rid of their stadium cards. So a lot of solid stuff you can do there. Our stadiums, right now I'm running a 2-1 split. We have 2 Altar of the Moon. So as long as we have a Psychic Energy on whatever we have on board, everything has either 0 or 1 retreat. Tauros and Garbodor sitting with 3 retreat would drop down to 1. Everything else would go down to 0. Really, really fun way, really great way to drop retreat costs and still have ability lock available to us. And then 1 Parallel City, just great for certain decks like Rayquaza and just being able to cut their bench size down. You could also try to run evolutions in this deck. You could run, I would say Vaporeon is probably solid against Volcanion if you feel like you end up needing it, and then definitely Flareon is probably the big one. In case you can't get Garbodor out against Decidueye, you can just put Flareon down and take KOs that way. So that's another way that you could build this. Just throwing that out there for you guys. We got 4 versus Seekers as we get into our items, and 4 Trainer's Mail to make sure that we get supporters and other trainer cards when we need them. 4 Ultra Ball for Pokemon Search. We got 2 Enhanced Hammers, 1 Escape Rope, and 1 Switch. So some more switching methods in case we do need them. Most of the time you're just going to be able to retreat with Altar of the Moon, however. We got 1 Super Rod, 3 Choice Band to make our attacks even stronger, 1 Floatstone. We're not going to put the Garbotox and Garbodor on board in every matchup. So the ones we really need it, we do have the 1 Floatstone, or you can just attach a Choice Band to it and then use 1 Psychic Energy to retreat it with Altar of the Moon. So that's kind of what we've been working with for now. And then we have 4 double colorless and 6 basic psychic, just to round things out. The 4 double colorless really useful for Tauros, Tapu Lele, an emergency Sky Return, or just being able to get up to a second attack on Trubbish or Garbodor if you really, really need to. Most of the time that won't be the case though. And then with Trashalanche only requiring a single Psychic Energy, 6 has proven more than enough, especially with Super Rod in the deck. So that is my Garbodor Tapu Lele deck, mainly just Garbodor. So that's our deck profile for today. We will be back in another day or two with the Alolan Ninetales deck. So I hope you guys like it. Cheers!